everybody, and welcome to Faith in Yah Ministries. Today I'd like to talk to you about a word that is the very essence of our relationship with the Almighty: faith. Faith is what brings us into relationship with Yah. Faith in the Messiah, His very word, brings us through all things and gives us that test of faith, which He does for all of us. Now, I had to step out in faith myself as I started a teaching ministry, which He told me to do. And in faith I started out. And through some praying and listening to Him, He showed me the faith of Gideon to share with you and hopefully edify all of us. The context of this book of Hebrews is to give us a clear demonstration of how Yeshua is our Messiah and how we must follow Him as the scriptures have said. And to use a musical term, it crescendos up to chapter 11, where we have this report of the elders of Cain and Enoch and Noah and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then closer to the end, he mentions others that he doesn't have time for. What I'd like to add to that is you and I are part of that faith example too. Even though it's in current times, we ourselves can be examples of the Almighty's faith. So let's read Hebrews chapter 11, verse 32. And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon, of Barak, and of Samson, of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, of the prophets. Let's look at chapter 6, verse 11, where Gideon is called. And there came an angel of Jehovah, and he sat under an oak tree, which was in Ophrah, which pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. So Gideon is hiding the little bit of food that he has. He's threshing some wheat so they can have something to eat. He's got to hide it from these big bullies, these thugs that are coming and stealing all the stuff. And the angel of Jehovah appeared unto him and said to him, Jehovah is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. He's a mighty man of valor. Here he is hiding out in fear of the Midianites, yet he's already been chosen to be a mighty man of valor. The angel comes to him and declares this to him. So he's wondering, where are all these miracles? Of course, because they haven't been walking in faith of Torah, they're not going to experience the blessings of the miracles, because they're living in these pagan ways of the Amorites and the Midianites and all of these evil, polluted gods that are about them. Now look at the call that Gideon has. Chapter 6, verse 14. And Jehovah looked down upon him and said, Go, in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? He's being sent, just like we're being sent. Now, I'm not being sent against the Midianites, but for whatever I'm sent, I'm to do. Whatever you're sent, you're to do. He has given power and authority to Gideon to take the Midianites and save Israel. Now check this out, verse 15. And he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I in least in my father's house. So he's in the poorest tribe, in a very poor area of Manasseh, across the Jordan. He's in the poorest family, and he's least in the family. This is what he does. He takes who he takes. But many times, it's who you would least expect to take. People like you and me. And Jehovah said unto him, surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midians as one man. He will be with him. We do nothing on our own. There is nothing that we can accomplish in his name without him being there. This is the essence of our faith, that he directs us. Jehovah sent an angel to Gideon. Tells him he's a mighty man of valor. Tells him, I will be with you, and you will strike down the Midianites and save Israel, because I have heard the cries, and I will save you. His word, Yeshua. Now, this is a part where you and I can maybe learn something from. He then asks the Almighty for a sign. And it's always been a little curious to me, like, why in the faith must we ask for signs? But I know I've asked for signs, and you very well have too. We say, please, Father, please show me your will, and I will do your will. And then we get a response, and now we have to step out in that faith. And that's what happens with Gideon. He goes out and he puts an offering together. He gets the offering, and it goes up in a big flame, right? And I'm not going to read all of Gideon, but please refer to that. He gets the sign. Now he gets the calling. Now that Jehovah has proven himself, he gets a calling. Strike down these abominations that are in his land, the land that he gave his people. And Gideon responds. It's something that he does not want to do. Something that will put him in harm's way. Let's see, let's move on to chapter 6, verse 25. And it came to pass the same night that Jehovah said unto him, take your father's bull, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that thy father has. Who has it? His own father. Joash's own temple to that evil, despicable Elohim of these Canaanites. He's got to go take his own father's temple down, because he knows he's gotten a sign. And what you're going to see is, through the faith of Gideon, also Joash is strengthened with faith. Cut down the grove by it. So the grove is that pole to Asterite, right? So he's sent up, and he goes by night, he gets the men, he cuts down the pole, and guess what happens in the morning? Uh-oh, Gideon's in trouble. He's gone to this local pole and altar of Baal, which we all know is a false god, which we all know that is the reason for these Israelites' torment by the Midianites. Said unto Joash, bring out thy son, that he may die, because he has cast down the altar of Baal, and because he has cut down the grove that was by it. Verse 31. Now this is where Joash steps up in faith. He knew that pole and that altar shouldn't be up there. They all did. Yet, out of fear of the world and not enough faith in the Creator, they succumb to that evil, polluting God. But because his son stepped up, now he's ready to step out in faith. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, will ye plead for Baal? Will ye save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death while it is yet morning. If he be a god, let him plead for himself, because one has cast down his altar. So now we have a name change. And name changes are very cool in the Bible, because it means a direct a direct change, a transformation. Therefore, on that day, he called him Jerubbaal, saying, let Baal plead against him, because he has thrown down his altar. So now he's enacting this change. That one act of faith creates his father to change. His father pleads and testifies. You know this isn't a God. If this were a God, this God could speak for himself, and he doesn't. He's false. And then we have more faith enacted throughout Israel.